Yeah, we are live. Welcome everyone to my Go Live again. Today is Friday. I have a special guest all the way from Singapore, Adeline.
Hi,
She will
Lisa.
share with us her story in her journey in this business. Maybe we all can learn something or get a tips from her, and could be like for new people, you will get an idea deeper about this business because like I bring people from different countries to share about this business, so you will have a better perspective in this business. All right, now thank you so much, Adeline, to accept my invitation to come for this interview on my page.
I'm so
And
honored. Thank you so much.
I am the one who's like, got the honor from you. Yeah, so would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Adeline. As Lita has shared, I think this is the first time we connect actually, so it's really
Oh,
exciting. Yeah,
yeah,
and I think that's what it's amazing in this business that people that we have not met, but
yeah,
through this business we actually are able to connect.
yeah.
My name is Adeline. I am a full-time mom, and I basically run this business full-time as my main source of income. I have a 11 years old and a 6 years old daughter. They are all in currently they are all in transition of going to a new school next year. So we are kind of preparing that right now. In Singapore right now, the cases are up and down, so we kind of learn the new norm, but that doesn't really affect us because now we are working from home, right? So yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, actually, only last Monday we just had a freedom day after like a couple months lockdown, really, and yeah, it's so good because I couldn't go anywhere more than 5 kilometers, and I have to stuck at home, and yeah, now we can see my friends, see my family again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's good.
great.
Yeah, but we still have to wear
Wear
mask.
masks. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's compulsory here in Singapore that you have to.
same thing. I just because I haven't really like go out for a while, right? And
Mhm.
even like the shopping, mostly my partner to do that shopping. I stay at home. And then yesterday, first time I went to shopping center, I forgot my mask. And then few people say, "Do you have mask? Otherwise, you will get fined 500 in here."
Oh
So
wow. Okay.
yeah, it's very strict. They are very strict. It's
Okay,
compulsory as
that's
well.
good.
Yeah,
That,
yeah.
that is good.
Yeah, so now my next question, may you can share with us, how did you get into this business and what bring you to want to do this business? What pushed you, like what your pains, your problem, or you struggle before that? Yeah.
I think majority of my struggle was the guilt that I have. And I really didn't like where I was because back then I was, working in office admin. Sometimes we required to OT, which I usually can't at all, because being the main caregiver, because my husband is actually in events line, um, and they have really long, weird hours. That
Mm,
him looking after the kids, it's not possible. So I've always been very stuck in the position, should I go find work? But I really wanted to be there for my kids. Because growing up for myself, I didn't really had a lot of, like chit chat or, being with my parents and all that. So when I have my own family, I desire to be there for them and so that they don't feel helpless or not being heard. So I have always, since I have kids, I've always worked towards that. So I have been on and off a stay-at-home mom for like 10 years. It's
oh,
actually a long time. But the back of my mind, although we enjoy, parenthood and all that, but at the same time, when I'm helping them to figure out their dreams, I am also looking back, my clock is ticking too. So like what am I going to do if they grow up and they no longer need me, then what am I going to do next? So I have always been figuring that out. But at the same time, I've always tried to go back to work, try part-time, full-time, but it's just so hard because like how much am I taking then? It's still the same from before I have kids.
Mm.
And the expenses are obviously going up with two kids, but the salary I'm getting back is still stagnant. Let alone, the kids fall sick, we run out of leave and so on. And that was a challenging time. And plus the adding up of the rushing madness in the morning and evening. Like even if I get back home, all I wanted to do was nothing, but I can't because I've got to feed my kids, I've got to do housework. So there wasn't any play time or whatsoever with the kids at all. So that was, I think, one of the deepest guilt. Like, I work to provide for my kids, but really, am I really providing them? I think that was one of the guilt that I have, like, we work hard so that we can, feed our kids and be there for them and so on. But I didn't actually have the time to talk to them as well in person. And, it's the constantly rushing. And I remember like every time I make them sleep, at the end of the day, I felt asleep. So I had to wake up like 12 midnight or 3 a.m. just to dry the laundry or do the laundry so that, we all have clothes to wear. So it was really difficult. And that is where I decided, I have to do something. I have to change. How do I actually get into this business was, I'm skeptical. I'm super skeptical. I don't check things that I do not know out at all. So
Yes.
I was blessed because I met, we kind of bumped. It was a coincidence that I met a friend, and then we had like a quick chit chat for like 10 minutes because we are actually, celebrating the Singapore National Day in Singapore here.
Okay.
Then she was asking me, what are you doing now? I was like, oh, I'm not doing anything right now. I just left my job 2 months ago, back then in 2019. So then she was sharing an online opportunity. She said, will you be interested? Then I was like, oh, why not? That'll be, I'm open to it. Because at that point of time, I really don't like where I was. I
Yeah.
feel so lost. Like I thought I would be much ahead in life than where I was. But then again, I was still where I was 10 years ago. So I feel that there wasn't any progress besides me having two kids, which is amazing. But alone myself, I have all these thoughts about like, where I'm going to go from and what is it now for me and so on. So I did wanted to go for courses and all that, but it didn't add up because I didn't have the time and to earn a good figure for the lifestyle that we want, it needs to take me about 10 years just to get there. So I decided, that's just not for me because 10 years to reach there, I'll be probably like, 50. So I decided that, so when the opportunity was put in front of me, I decided to just go for it because what is there to lose? I just need to watch a
Yes.
few workshops and kind of evaluate whether it's for me or not, right? Because this business is not for everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, you can watch the workshop and then you could assess it whether it's for you. It's just like watching a movie. You will not know whether we like the movie until we watch it, right?
Yeah.
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 So
Sure.
that is how I got started.
Okay. That's great. It's good to
Very
hear.
long, huh?
Yeah. No, it's not long. It's good, like because I didn't really know how you get into this business. Now I know actually through friends, which is like, oh, okay. Yeah, actually, when you go through friends, it's more like convincing as well because yeah,
I think the trust is there already. Like, I guess she has already do her own homework and everything. So, that pretty much remove all the skepticism aside.
right. So like after you watch it and then you just okay, this is for me. I'm gonna do it. Is that right?
So what happened was I watched it because I was, like moms, right? Our routine is so routine. So I was actually doing my housework and I was watching it. So it took me quite a while to watch it, but I took a day to finish watching it.
Mhm.
Um, After I watch it, basically I couldn't sleep at night. Something was
Mm.
just bothering me, and I guess that's what people say about the gut feeling and the butterfly in its stomach and all that. So
Yeah.
I decided, and I don't really like, being itchy about something and not finding out more. So
Oh,
the next very day, I just decided to just buy in and find out whether
yeah.
is it for me or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And that after going in, again, doing my homework and researching and everything, then I realized that, oh, okay, this is something worth checking it out. If
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
gonna change my life and my family life, then
Mm.
I'm gonna do it because I have a very big why. You know, being able to
Have that.
retire and all that was not something it's possible for us in Singapore because everything is so expensive, right?
Mm.
I've never thought that retirement was an issue. But as I come into the business and start learning, and there's actually a lot of personal development in this that I actually learn and discover about myself as well. And that is where I decided that this is really a good platform for me to learn, and I don't have to pay to learn.
Yeah, it's true. It's really true. I mean, I totally agree. This is how I got into this business because first, I've been like kind of like looking for something to do as well because I just don't want like keep working. And then, like you mentioned before, if you're working, the salary is not gonna go up a lot, right? 2%, 3%. If like for past few years before, when the economy is not good, you didn't get any salary increase. Then in of course our life, we are want to it's become more expensive, and then we want to improve our life to be better, right? If we just like rely on that, then it's not gonna really work, like
Yeah,
yeah, that's one thing. And then the next thing is like after that, well, there's nothing for me to lose anyway. Why I don't just go and pay $149 and go to see the real people doing this, right? And then
yeah.
if I like it, and then yeah, and then how does I end up doing this business? And I've been in this business for over a year now. And how about you? How long have you been in this business? Like,
2 years plus. So I start the business in August 2019.
mm, mm,
So about 14 months, I guess.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause like when I browsing through your post, my God, you're like so happy, a happy family. You have no worries. Even I know it's kind of like sometimes I don't know whether your husband now back to work or not. Cause like
Oh no,
in
not yet.
London,
So
right?
what happened to my husband was during the very first lockdown, because event was really badly affected. Um, Straight away he was the first one to be like the first few to be retrenched. So it has been a year plus now that he has not worked.
Oh,
Yeah, about 18 months, I think.
mhm.
Yeah, sorry. So I'm not very good in my maths. Anyway, there's a lot of things that I'm not really good at, but we don't need to be good at everything.
It's
So,
true.
yeah, so I've been in the business for about like 2 over years. But my husband not working for about 18 months now. Yeah, so this business has really been the main source of income. So we are really humble and blessed that we are able to sustain that lifestyle without concerning about what's next later.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. That's the benefit of own your own business, right? One, it's hard at the beginning, but one is running. That's it. You just
Yeah,
like that uh, benefit, and it's the income that you earn is just unlimited. It's just yeah, it's forest, and yeah, what I try to say, unlike salary, which is limited, and opposite business, which is unlimited. So this is what all most people wish to have.
yeah.
And so now the question is like, because you like almost full time doing this, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you're full-time doing this and you have two kids. So at the beginning, was it hard for you like to find the time like to set up the business and to learn everything because it's like new to you?
Mm, yeah, of course I have. I think the main what was I struggle a lot with my own self doubt, whether who would knows, right, whether this business will or not. But that aside, when I decided to join, um, and being a stay at home for 10 years, that's actually a kind of a long time for me. So that was my reason that I have to push myself even harder and work extra hard to provide, especially when my husband was being retrenched. I did spend long hours in the business, 12 hours easily. Um, and I really sow my seed and, learning about the business, the ins and out of the business. I watched Mastermind that was actually provided for us as well, and really understanding how the training works, and really coming from a space to make an impact for someone else, because a lot of people are also struggling out there and looking for something. And honestly, we don't know whether it's for you or not, but if we if we don't check it out, then you will never know, right? So that was kind of where I was then. Yeah. Sorry, what was the question again? I lose my train of thought.
Yeah, I mean, like, how was it like hard at the beginning because
Mm.
it's new,
It
the new
wasn't.
proposal, right?
It was. I think working is harder for me. Because working, there's things that we like to do and there's things that we don't like to do. I think time management was one of the part that I was looking to balance. And because this business is ours, right? So self-discipline is needed in the business. Of course, if I don't put time in growing and nurturing my business like my baby, then it's not gonna flourish, and it's gonna be stagnant. So during my time of learning is really putting out 100% in the process and in the system, and see what really happens. So I was coming from a space of, I need to learn as much, so I could help the people that that are looking for something, and they are not sure how the business work and so on, and being their mentor, I would be capable of supporting them through their online business journey as well. So that was where I was coming from, because I believe that I'm going to have so many mentee, and mentoring everyone. So I was at that point of time, I was just coming from a space to learn as much as I can, so that I could help others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like for most of like because I interview quite a few people now. Actually, um, the advice for the people who are thinking to get into this business or want to have your own business, actually, is not as hard as you think. But once you get into it, that's the first hardest thing because that our self limit from our experience before make us to very careful and a bit skeptical about everything. But
Yeah.
once you get into it, yeah, because I have friends that asking, well, I have full-time job. How am I gonna do it? I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough because you're smart. If that's why you can do it. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Actually,
Or
it's not
luck.
all
It must be
about
you are
that.
lucky
Because
and then you do
yeah,
it.
yeah. And then because like we have all the training, which is like a step by step training. It's so easy to follow. Even grandma on this business and people like
I
under
mean, that's the granny
20.
that inspired me to want to start this
I know
business.
their price is like
Looking at her, if she's like, I can't remember, like 70 then, I can't remember. But
I think
anyway,
yeah.
she didn't knew about laptop or technology or social media, but because of
Yeah,
her, I was so inspired. Like, oh, even if Granny can do it, then it must be, then there's no reason why I can't do it because I'm
yeah.
already on social media, right?
Yeah, because this business to me, I found out you don't really like business like so serious doing thing, right? This one is quite fun for me. It's quite fun. I
Yes.
didn't like social media before at all.
Oh
I
my gosh.
hardly post anything. Only since that I do this, I become like it's quite fun. And then apart from that, this is your own business. You learn it when you feel like to. Of course, like if you really want to see the result
Successful.
faster, then you just learn faster, right? Make time for it to put more effort. But if you don't, then you can take your time as well. And because in this business, we are surrounded with so many people from everywhere, like, Adeline. Yeah, it's just like we never talk to each other. We just first connect. We have that a positive vibe, yeah. That's how in our community we help each other, because we are surrounded with people like that. We have a same reason why we want to take our life to the next level, to have a better life for our kids and everything for our future. That's why when you're surrounded with people and you see people all like that, and at the end, because we become copy them, we follow them, we got motivated, we got inspired, then we just do things without like a kind of like some we have to force to do it, right? Because we are surrounded with people like that and everyone do it, and then we can just do it, and then it's automatic without any forced.
Yeah.
We are
So
happy
true.
and willing to
But
do
like
it.
what you say, I've never expected a business to be that fun, honestly. Like you, I struggle in posting. I think when I started joining this business, the last photo that I have alone was like 8 years ago. But me and my husband, we always wanted to do like, like a diary or something, like a blog for the kids.
Uh,
But we never ever find time. We actually created emails like to write them as like a diary. But we did that like once or twice and we didn't follow through. So this business has created that platform for me to, kind of blog about my kids and their
um,
journey and really getting to know who their mother is as a person and like what are my values and who I am as a person because all they see is just mom, you know nag at us, ask us so I really enjoy. So now, like looking back at my business page, I've actually created not just a business, but a legacy. And when I'm passed on, the kids have something else to look back on, and it make it much more meaningful for me to,
mm,
have the desire to do posting on my business page, which I
so
actually start to enjoy it.
yeah, yeah, that's good. All right. Because I meant to just have 20 minutes interview, but we passed that, which is a kind of good because you know we kind of like into it. So it's very quick one, just very quick one. Maybe you can leave give an advice or a tips or whatever you think is can encourage people like to
I've always have a
go
mantra
more
in
positive.
life, like live your day like there is no tomorrow. We don't know what is going to happen today or tomorrow, but it's so important to live like if today is your last day, what are you going to do? And really work towards that. Some things we never tried, we never know whether it's for us or not. So why waste it away? Instead of spending time watching Netflix, might as well work on your future and something that you can look forward to. Be it wherever you are. Yeah, that is I think is the most important thing. And ask yourself the good question: whether are you happy or not in your life, and if you're not, then what are you doing about it?
True.
Yeah.
True. All right, thank you so much, Adeline, for sharing your story, life story, and this business. And yeah, hopefully the audience gets something from it. And thank you so much, everyone that are tuning in. I really appreciate for the support. And today is Friday, so I wish everyone have a great weekend. Enjoy
Yeah.
with time with family and everything. And take care. I will see you again in next week. I think next week I have one interview. I have a guest from Queensland, Australia. So stay tuned. I see you then. Bye.
Bye.